Greetings, Africa Engineering News family, and welcome back to another weekly updates with yours truly. My name is Winnie O, and I got you covered on this week's highlights of the latest posts from the website, where we discuss all things engineering, innovations, technology, and all around STEM updates happening across the African continent. So let's get to it. Our first featured article this week is titled Kenya's Women Energy Leaders Sharing the Importance of Women in STEM. Now, this is definitely a key discussion. It's a key topic because obviously it's pretty common knowledge at this point that women in STEM are still very much the anomaly. We are still very underrepresented in STEM fields. And it's about time we change that. It's about time that we get better representation across the board, because we understand that it's a traditionally, male-dominated field. And as more women are coming into the STEM sectors, into the STEM fields, we are already seeing, and we're going to be seeing even more changes in terms of, inclusion and equity being prioritized, not only in the projects, but in planning and implementation and even long-term maintenance and everyday, day-to-day activities, which is so important. Honestly, speaking as a woman in STEM, I realize these things that, oftentimes, these little nuances that, women bring to the table, they're so valuable. They're so valuable. And it's not that, men, are just blatantly ignorant to it. No, it's because women bring a different perspective to, the way we look at the world. And I support it. I'm here for it. On the article, it features 5 amazing women from Kenya's energy sector, specifically the Kenya Power and Lighting Company. And it includes Agnes Obara, who is the Chief Planning Officer, Sarah Wepukulu, who is the Connectivity Manager, Grace Aswani, who is the Insurance and Integrity Manager, Catherine Gitamo, who is the Learning and Development Manager, and Engineer Esther Ruto, who is the General Manager of the Power Distribution and Regional Coordination Directorate, and this is under the Kenya Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation. These women are doing amazing things, and it is so important to be able to share our experiences, to share our stories in our respective areas of, specialty, because you never know who it inspires to be, the next, amazing innovator and, game changer in our respective STEM fields. So if you know a girl out there or a young lady who is interested in STEM, please encourage them to pursue it and, and do the necessary work to ensure that they feel encouraged and supported throughout that experience, because Lord knows it's tough. It is tough, okay? You know this already. You're watching this. You know this. So for more details on this, please go check it out on the website. The next featured article is titled Building Winning Connections for Startups in Francophone Africa. Now, this is a partnership between Shuguba, Mercy Corps, and the French Development Agency. These organizations partnered up to be able to support 8 new startups that span across various sectors, including education, fintech, agricultural sector, and even the transport sector. So for more details on this, be sure to go check it out on the website at www.africaengineeringnews.com. Our third featured article for this week is titled Mondia and Jumia Launch Exciting New Gaming Services for Customers Across Africa. Now, this is a gaming portal that is currently available in 5 African countries, including Egypt, Nigeria, Morocco, Kenya, and Ghana. And the gaming providers are planning to expand services to include Tunisia as well as Côte d'Ivoire. This is big news because the gaming industry is set to increase, over the next few years by up to 12% by the year 2025. For those of you who are interested in the gaming sector, be sure to check that out. The fourth featured article for this week's highlight is titled digital medicine, focusing on Africa's challenges and opportunities. Now, given this COVID pandemic that we have all been experiencing in various degrees, right? And the subsequent quarantine that has many of us on lockdown, and teleworking, we have seen this big push towards telemedicine, right? For, practicing medical professionals. This is a key change in how Africa is handling, the health needs across the regions, from the urbanized centers to the more rural, remote areas. Thanks to telemedicine, doctors can now serve even more areas and far-reaching demographics that they were not able to do so, prior to this implementation of technology in what they do. And, telemedicine is definitely bridging the gap in terms of what is needed between the need for doctors and the availability and access to getting the medical attention from trained professionals. And so to meet this need, Omnia Health Live Africa is hosting a free virtual event from October 12th to the 16th, which will address, the human factors and infrastructure needs, as well as policy challenges that deal with this implementation of this new way of assisting, patients across various African nations, and which has already been going on, during this COVID pandemic, as, countries such as Nigeria, Senegal, Kenya, and many others have been, pivoting to mitigate this pandemic. Also, don't forget, if you're looking for internships, fellowships, funding opportunities, be sure to check out opportunitiesforafricans.com. There's a ton of resources there, so trust me, check it out. You won't be disappointed. Which brings us to our next segment, which is our weekly events highlights. This is your reminder. Africa CDC has been hosting weekly COVID updates on Wednesdays and Thursdays. The Climate Reality Project is hosting a free virtual event titled Climate Change and the Transportation Sector, and that's on October 9th. On October 12th, the World Bank 2020 virtual annual meetings are taking place, so be sure to join that if you're available. The Transportation Research Board is hosting a free webinar titled Celebrating TRB's Centennial by Exploring the Future of Transportation Research, and this is also taking place on October 12th. The 5th AfriLabs virtual annual gathering is taking place on October 12th to the 14th. And the Kenya Alliance of Resident Associations is hosting a free webinar on keeping children safe during this COVID pandemic, especially as they surf the internet, and they're doing a lot more via the internet. So you want to make sure you keep them safe. This webinar is taking place on October 13th. And our last featured event for this week is Africans Portal to Doing Business with the United States, and this is taking place on October 14th. Also, be sure to stay updated, stay connected, because we keep adding events to our events calendar as we are getting them. So just because it wasn't mentioned here doesn't mean that it is not on the website. We are updating this as we get them throughout the week. For more information on these topics, as well as future updates, be sure to connect with us at www.africaengineeringnews.com, or if you have social media platforms, that's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, as well as IG, connect with us at Africa Engineering News. Simple. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And until next time, take care of yourselves, be well, be safe, and most importantly, be encouraged in all you do. Okay? Ciao, guys.